Hello, everyone. Welcome to our next episode. So we are at the first year player draft. We are 35 and 38, which is not really where we anticipated being. Um, but we had a rash of injuries. We got hit pretty hard. You can see our attendance chart has not been that great. We're marginally more expensive than we were last year, and everything's pretty much down. While we're here, let's just drop that down to 26. Let's try and pick up some of that revenue. If you can't tell, I still feel nasally. I'm still sick, but much better than a few days ago when the last video dropped. Injured list. Shohei has finally started his rehab assignment. He just had one start and five plate appearances. He went over five with three strikeouts, and then on the mound, 5 innings, 5 hits, three earned, one bomb, and three Ks. That's pretty much what we expect from somebody coming back from Tommy John. His stuff looks fine, but I have a good feeling he's going to tail off pretty soon, at least pitching wise. Um, so why does he wear number 15? That's weird. Okay. Whatever. Chase Petty has just gotten hurt recently. Um, he was good, not great for us while he was up. This we just traded, made a trade with Oakland, relatively minor deal. Matt McLean got hurt, and he's been absolutely atrocious. He has a 64 OPS plus through the first 57 games, 230 plate appearances, 200 at bats, minus point 0.4 WAR. I'm really really lucky that we did not give him that big extension we were contemplating doing, because now he's probably going to be a lot cheaper if he doesn't just outright turn into a terrible player. Ellie De La Cruz tore an ab muscle, so he's been out for a while. He looks like he'll miss probably about 50, 55 games or something like that. Really, the only offensive bright spot for now on this team, um, which is kind of unfortunate. But, it sucks that he got hurt, but we're 3 games under with all these injuries. Edwin Arroyo also got hurt. He's only out for one more day. He fractured a hand back on May 27th, so he's missed about 6 weeks already. He was also pretty good, 137 OPS plus, 1.7 WAR. We traded for Joey Gallo. That's how dire things kind of got. Um, who was bad in his 26 plate appearances with us. So hopefully we'll get some regression to the mean and he can be an above average player. He played some first, some third, some left, and maybe some right. Excuse me. To get Joey Gallo, we finally pulled the plug on the Trey Morgan experience. We finally let him loose. He was bad for us, positive offensively, positive with the glove. The bat was atrocious. We couldn't. He looks like he might be a 4A player at this point. Uh, he was above average offensively in AAA. He played 30 games. Pretty much when I think when Arroyo came up, we sent him down, and then we sent him in the Gallo deal. We got them to retain quite a bit of money for Gallo. The Cubs had retained 75% to send him to Pittsburgh, and then we got Pittsburgh to retain the other 25. So we have him for free for this year and next year, which is nice. Because finding some productive players cheap is going to be an issue coming up. For the rest of the offense, Jerickson Profar, I called him up. He was a minor league free agent signing, only 30 at bats, but he's been good in those 30. Noelvi Marte has been great once he came back, 140 OPS plus. Vogelback has been very surprisingly one of my best hitters so far. He started really, really hot. It was crazy. April, 215 OPS plus and about 30 at bats, and then 100, and then a 128. So he's been fantastic for us as like found money, I guess. Um, Paul Meggiani's been above average. Serta has been good. He started better. He kind of cooled off, I think. Yeah, April 132, then a 66, then a 114 OPS pluses. Jay Allen above average and great defense, so we'll take it. Um, excuse me, Cam Collier finally made his debut because we just had so many injuries that somebody had to play, and he's holding his own. 93 OPS plus, slightly below average, one bomb, four doubles. So, fine, right? Cade Hunter started well himself and then really tailed off. His April 153 OPS plus, then an 86, then a 30. What I kind of started doing was exposing him to lefties a little bit more, um, which also can't help this because I had to. He had to play against lefties because I had no other bodies to play. Um, and then he's been pretty much he played some catcher, some firsts, one game at third. Really bad defender in left so far, but it's kind of expected. Fine at catcher, slightly above average in his one game in right. So small sample size, but not not what we expected and not how he started is kind of unfortunate. Trevino had like a great debut. His April was also pretty good. Well, not his April, his first. Game log. Okay, yeah. His debut, he went like 1 for 3. Oh, this isn't February. This is spring. And then where was opening day? Here, opening day, 3 for 4. He went like three singles. He had some big knocks. I thought that was hilarious. But the glove is again his carrying tool. He's put up a one WAR with an 85 OPS plus, so pretty good. Michael Ciani bad offensively this year. This is we talked in like the opening episode. If he's been good, then bad, then good, then bad again. And so this just looks like a bad year. So I would love if he could pick up the bat because that's when he's the impact player. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see if he can turn it around. Drew Bowser came up, not been great, 54 OPS plus, very, very much not great. But I still think the bat can, have some potential here. And the defense is versatile. So Stuart Fairchild finally came up. He was angry about being in AAA for a while. His ratings took a huge hit. His bat at AAA was awful. He's only had 4 at bats here so far, and not great. And then we traded with Oakland. We got Mr. Max Muncy. That was in the Danny Jansen trade. He got hurt as well, and then I just thought, he was angry at not starting, which is hilarious. And I just thought, let's just go get something for him. He's an expiring anyway. He's kind of redundant. Cade can play some catcher when Trevino needs a day, and then it opens up the corners. So he sent away Danny Jansen, Ben Broody. Maybe if this pops, but he's already 23 in rookie league. And then top prospect Maverick Rizzi, who I just don't think is going to turn into anything really. So I thought, let's just strike while I get something in return. For reliever Mason Miller, who has an interesting profile, and we just needed like a usable bullpen arm at this point. And then because the bullpen's been bad, and Chen Zong Wow Swang. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. That's the first time I've really tried. Who pitched 28 innings for Oakland, and then we traded for him. So he is on the IL with a sore back right now. And so it just gave us some pitching depth, which helped fill a need because the starters have been fine, right? Hunter Green's been good. 2.94 ERA in 15 starts, 79 and two-thirds innings. The whip is good. The strikeout numbers are good. The walk numbers are a little high, and the homer per 9 is a little high. But overall, pretty good numbers from Hunter Green. Luis Castillo, his BABIP is high, and his FIP is a little bit better, I think. But overall, not a great season from Castillo. Hunter Brown's been fine. Like, these guys have just been fine. Severino's been adequate. Juan Martinez finally got his ability to start, and he's been magical. In 15 games, 10 of them starts, 59 and two-thirds innings. He's put up 2 WAR, .75 WHIP, 58 strikeouts, .3 homer per 9. So he's not giving up any bombs either. So he's been really, really good. He's been like a 5 and dive type guy, like 4 1/3, 4 2, 5 1/3, which is fine. So he's been a revelation. Really good to find him in the 5 spot. Edwin Diaz has been electric, exactly what we pretty much would expect him to be. But the back end of the bullpen, we just shook it up to whatever Joey Votto wanted. Lane Henderson is in the bullpen. He's been good, not great. The strikeout numbers are always going to be there, but that's really the only thing he's got going on. Jeremiah Estrada has been adequate. Like, that's how bad the bullpen is, that this man with this line, 2.97, 30 and a third, 1.2 whip, and 3.6 walks per nine, is our setup man. Giovanni Moran has been fine. Camilo Duvall has been awful. He's on the block right now. I think I'm going to try and see what I can get for him. Just a terrible season for him so far. He could turn it around, but if he has any value, there's an argument that he's at his lowest point right now. But I also think we could maybe get something for him. And then Tyler Rogers has been special. Really, really good. Don't want to mess with his role too much. He's really kind of come into his own. 0.88 ERA in 26 games, 30 and 2/3 innings, only 6 walks, only 3 earned runs. Really, really good season for him so far. Mason Miller just came up. We talked about him, and Garrett Crochet has been bad so far in his 13 and a third innings, but he went through his whole rehab assignment, came up, and then kind of just has not played very well. So the pitching staff is kind of in shambles. It looks like I probably let the wrong, or I shouldn't say that. I probably decided to retain some of the wrong relievers because Henderson's been fine, Duvall's been fine, and Crochet have been fine. But well, I shouldn't say that. Duvall's been bad, and Crochet's been, TBD. But that's not great when the relievers that I'm actually paying for are not contributing. And the only one who really is Tyler Rogers and Edwin Diaz. Like, he's on a $3 million deal. If we're out of it at the trade deadline, he's like an obvious sell candidate. So yeah, look, our top WAR leader in the pitching rotation is Juan Martinez. So yeah, not great. If I were to do anything, I'd probably go you to middle relief and then Rogers to set up. Yeah, let's do that. I'd prefer that. And then you can back up as closer, and Lane can close if necessary. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It's unfortunate what this pitching staff is looking like because it was a strength the last few years. But Shohei comes back, then maybe one of these four. I don't think it's Juan Martinez that gets bumped from the rotation because he's been too good. But it could be Severino, it could be Brown bumps to the bullpen when he comes back. And then offensively, it just frees up the DH slot, which now we have questions because Vogelback and Palmegiani are the few guys that are actually contributing offensively. So who gets bumped for Shohei? Maybe Palmegiani moves to left, and then Vogelback can play first-ish, I guess, right? And then Palmegiani, yeah, his left field rating is fine. Well, it will be at some point, but yeah. So really, it's the unheralded additions that are contributing right now. In his short sample size, it's Jurickson Profar, it's Vogelback. So it's nice. At AAA, I don't think many of these guys contributed. Glaber has been awful. His ratings took a big nosedive. His AAA line is awful. His major league line is even worse. He's somebody that I probably want to add to the block. If anybody wants him, go for it. Liover Peguero, I claimed off waivers, and he was bad. So yeah, it has not been a good showing so far for the depth additions. And then pitching staff at AAA, Taj Bradley got demoted. He's good in AAA right now. He's putting up a good run, but he was so bad at the major league level in 24 innings, an ERA of 7, just not good. And then I put him in the bullpen for a few games and just not good. So I figured let's go get him hot down in AAA. Let's see how he goes. And then once he's hot, which it looks like he's starting to heat up right now, then we can pull him back up. Ranger Suarez was a good minor league addition. He's probably, if I don't pull him up, he'll probably go on the block and see what I can get for him because, a 45-45 pitcher, extreme ground ball should get something on the block. Let's actually shop him around. Let's see what anybody wants to give me first. Interesting. All right, Arturo Okagera. Ground ball hitter, don't like that. The defense looks pretty good. He's in the major league level. He's hitting. See, that's a good depth piece, but he's making a little bit too much money, and he's a little bit older. He's a lefty bat. We don't need more lefties. But that's interesting, right? Like a flyer like that is something that I think is totally worth it. Wilmer Flores, right-handed bench bat, maybe, right? Like this is not a bad idea. Nick Castellanos, who's having an awful year, by the way. Minus 1.3 WAR. He's probably playing too much defense. Oh, he's not even playing any defense. Why did Nick Castellanos catch 8 innings? That's insane. Why? That's ridiculous. That's kind of funny. Maybe that's where all his negative WAR came from. James Paxton, interesting. Fly ball pitcher, don't love that. Mitch White, no, stuff isn't good enough. Pitches aren't good enough. Glenn Otto is probably a good reliever, but no. Ariel Miranda is usually pretty good. Good depth bullpen piece, I guess. A lot of this is just a bunch of meh, but it's for a guy who's at AAA, probably not going to be expected to contribute for maybe like some bullpen help or a bench bat. Maybe it's not the worst idea. Trey Mancini, 1 year, $2 million deal. Keibert Ruiz. Oh, he's got a deal. That's why. That's actually not the worst thing I've ever seen. 10-year, $73 million deal after prior to 2023. So did he sign that in real life? I'm not sure. All right. This is what I want. Would you retain a good chunk of this money? No, you would not. Okay. Let's go back to shop player. Jose Ruiz. Interesting. He's a free agent. Like, this is the kind of guy that would help the bullpen, but... I don't hate the idea of Wilmer Flores. Carlos Martinez could get a bump here and stuff. He's on a minimum deal. Interesting. This is not an awful idea. He's pitched at AAA. He's been in the minors the last like 4 years. That's not a bad depth idea, to be honest with you. Keston? No. No, hasn't turned out. I like him. I liked him coming out of college, but he just hasn't been able to put it together, and it's really sad because I think he could be a good player. Oh, Derek Fabian. Prospect. He's a double A. See, this is, yeah, like, why would I not do this? What is the downside to this deal? A guy who I'm not going to use who's having a good year at AAA for a prospect. Like, why would I not do this? So, extreme fly ball, but maybe I could flip him for a different reliever. Trade with Cincinnati. Haha. What did your scouting? What was the trade? Evan Phillips deal. Oh, got it. Okay. It's maybe not Karcher. What about like JD Davis? He's having a good year at AAA. What about JD Davis? No. What would it take? No. Bernabel? So my first sim on this updated game was a Rocky sim. Warming Bernabel came up as a rookie and then won a batting title. It was insane. Okay. Tony Santillan looks interesting. Interesting. Okay. You're in arbitration. You're going to make 2.6. This is a deal I would do. For Ranger Suarez, easy. Colin Barber, not interesting. What about into 40 man? All right, so we'll keep that in mind. You don't want to give me Brooks Lee. You don't want to give me Jalen Beeks, do you? What if I give you Stuart Fairchild to even out the money? I'll give you an answer soon. What do you want? No. No. I think it's hilarious how I just keep going after Jalen Beeks, but maybe we'll figure out a deal later. Maybe you just don't want Fairchild. Yeah, so here's a little bit more options. All right. Riho, I'm not opposed to dealing, but he's been really good in his brief time at Double A. He just keeps hitting. He's kind of like a I forget his name already. That prospect, Collier, Cam Collier, who just the bat is outperforming the ratings right now. I don't want to give up Jay Allen for this for Jalen Beeks, even though I could get Jalen Beeks for 3 more years, right? Probably I could get them to eat more money. Like if I'm not opposed to throwing Taj Bradley in there, but I think Bradley can be good. He's just running out of time. He's about to get a lot more expensive. Hunter Brown, no. Ellie, no. Gallo, maybe, right? Cade, no. Not Marte, not McLean, not Riho, not Rogers. I mean, Rogers is a free agent, but if we're trying to build for this year, it doesn't make sense to get rid of him. Um, yeah, I like Jalen Beeks. I like him a lot. His deal is just more, and they want more in prospect capital than I really want to give up. All right, what if I give you Fairchild and you don't retain any of it? Oh, yeah, nobody wants him. What about what about if I just give you Mason Miller? Would that help? That does not help. All right, so we're gonna do the tried and true PF Holden method. We're gonna add Bradley. We're gonna retain some money. What do you want here? Right. So, like, if I throw in, like, there's no way they do this, right? There's no way. This dude, right? And then remove Bradley, and then drop it down to the money again. Now, what does it take? You still want Bradley? Yeah. You got some more options, right? Like, Juan Martinez is here now, but. All right, so let's just do the easy deal. Let's just get Fabian. Let's get, who are you? Ooh, you look good. I wonder what it would take to get him. Yeah, too much. All right, let's go. What about Joe Ryan? Oh, he's got a big deal. I guess it's not huge. Paul Skeens, my favorite prospect in this actual draft. Oh, I clicked on Joe Ryan again. Paul Skeens. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. It's already his third year in the majors. That's insane. I think he'll be up next year too, in real life, by the way. What about Reynaldo Lopez? No. Connor Phillips? Yeah, that's reliever profile. I know they have him starting, but that's reliever profile. What do you want? No, too much. Okay. Firestein? No. Lucas Sims? No. Martin Perez? Nope. Framber Valdez? Nope. Yeah. How did this trade work out so far? Nick Martini, Jason Foley, pitching for the Mets, Carter Quintana. Yeah, whatever. Pretty much like a lose-lose here. Okay. Yep. I wanted your AAA reliever that you would give me. That's Christian Yelich on Minnesota. Signed a contract. Oh, they retained it. What was the deal? In addition to Jordan Brink for an oh, wow. So they got a real reliever from him too? Interesting. Yeah, they got a good relieving prospect. Bad starter, but good reliever. They got something and only retained 10% of Christian Yelich. That's insane. The deal seems like an albatross to move. It must be really hard. Batting stats, major league. What have you done? Yeah, no, I don't get this at all. Okay. Triple A. Tony Santillan. I want you to retain as much money as you will, which is 5%. Good deal. Okay. So Tony Santillan. Somebody's got to get waived. Glaber. Easy decision. And then who goes down from the pitching staff? Crochet. All right, so maybe we work on a deal for Doval because he pretty much like his arbitration estimate is 9 million. I'm not paying that next year. So let's get some value while we can. Crochet probably either. He's making 5.5. He's eligible for 6.5. That's kind of a lot. Can anybody go down? Like yes, but no. Crochet can go down. I don't have to like make that decision right now. Santiago can come up. It's like a good middle reliever. Long reliever? Middle reliever. Yeah, that's fine. I would like another lefty, so maybe we try and trade Duvall for a reliever. Let's see what we get. It might just be a salary dump, to be honest. Pull Crochet up. Jeffrey Springs is interesting, right? He's got too much money, and his ratings kind of took a hit. But as like a lefty specialist, I'm not super opposed. What does the deal look like? What do you have? A team option for next year. So really, it's just a 1-year deal with a team option. And then if he's good, all right, they can't. All right, what if I give you Fairchild too? Oh no, that goes the opposite way. Blue Jays, how can they be win now? And how did you get Corey Seager? What's going on with these big movements? In addition to Edward Kalina for Kevin Gossman. Wow. Okay. So you gave up Kevin Gossman. You let Vladdy Jr. walk, but you got Corey Seager in return. That would not go over very well in real life. Manoa has a good relieving profile too. What does the deal look like? Yeah, that's too big. Never mind. Springer? Bad bat. I don't believe it. I don't trust it. Varsho? Probably too big a deal. I don't necessarily know if I like this or not. Like, yeah, I could get Jeffrey Springs, but then it's just like I'm giving up Duvall for Springs, and I don't really think I want to do that. From shop player, at least. I could always just go look. Pittsburgh would just take his money for this dude. But if you would take his money, take the money for this dude, would you give me like a real pitcher? Were you in the... Yeah, you were in the deal. Would you give me him back? No. Hmm. What about down in AAA? There's no way. Give me Hogan Harris back. Duvall. Okay. What if I go to shop a player, go to Camilo Duvall, and just like retain 50%? What would I get then? Nothing inspiring reliever wise. Trevor Rogers, Casey Mize. Not a bad profile, but not a good one. Trevor Rogers, fly ball pitcher, lefty. Too much money though. I think. Good season, really good season, but actually this might not be. He's eligible for free agency too. All right, so we're gonna give, I think, Camilo Duvall the opportunity to try and turn it around. Anybody want Glaber? This is my last shop around for the day. Plenty of people want Glaber. What? Why? Oh, because everybody's got some money. Eduardo Rodriguez is making 15 mil, but the Tigers are retaining. He's a reliever. He's a bad one. But, like, would you give me a real reliever in addition? What about Khalil Watson? You won't. It's close. For you, maybe. Jacob Maya? No. Dax? No. I don't like it. Wow. This dude's good. How did they get him? 2019 11th round pick. And all of a sudden he pops. All right, what do you want for him? Everything. You want everything for him. What about Evan Phillips? Too much, I think. Unless you want Duvall. No, I think not. Okay. All right. Well, let's go back to the shop player. Let's go get rid of let's get rid of Glaber. For who? Miguel Castro? Interesting, but too much money for what that is. Ariel Miranda keeps popping up. I think I might do that because he fills the lefty role pretty well. I don't want to pay anything though. Let's do this. Let's add some money. Oh, you have none. That's why. All right, so retaining this gets the difference to $549. Okay. So I only lose I pay $549 for Ariel Miranda. That's a good deal. Now what do I do with my 40-man spot? Luis Verdugo? Probably. Yeah, we kind of didn't touch on this, but I think Max Muncy could be a useful player. He had a good AAA this year. He went right from high A to AAA and was really good. So he's moving fast. I think he can pop. That's gonna be cool. And we have because I'm saving a slot for Shohei when he comes back, right? But maybe I just make that decision when he actually comes back. And then pitching staff, who goes down now? Mason Miller, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. See, now Duvall is the worst player by WAR on the pitching staff right now. I didn't like what I was getting offered, though, so might as well go option down Mason Miller, who's out of options. Miranda, can you go down? Out of options. That's okay. I don't hate that this is a problem right now. Moran hasn't been great, but not bad either. Santillan, I like having up. Strada's been good-ish. I think it's just Duvall. I might try and deal him, like, for real. Off camera. See what I can get. Maybe Henderson. Henderson probably has some trade value. He's very popular if I do that we'll have some unhappy campers here. I love the stuff. I love the stuff. I love the pitches, but the control is what's biting him. He's averaging 4.1 walks per nine this year, which I think is up from what it has been. No, it's about the same. And he's cheaper. He's only projected for 4.6. Maybe Miller's just the dude. No, because I like Miller. So who gets the boot? It probably has to be Doval, right? All right, we got some time to figure it out. Let's go to the draft. That, I think, is the next thing. That's probably the next video, is the draft. We'll hit it. Edwin Arroyo comes back tomorrow, which is great. So we have some offensive decisions to make, too. It'll probably be Bowser and Muncy, to be honest. Maybe Fairchild. I can't believe nobody wants Fairchild. That's crazy. He's a good defender. I know I don't want him, but I don't know why nobody else does. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. It's pretty unfortunate where we're sitting, but we're only 3 under. We're getting Arroyo back tomorrow. We're getting De La Cruz back in a week, and McLean back at some point. But does this even help me right now? Probably not. Shohei comes back, so a lot of the big guys are coming back soon. So I guess that we're gonna call that an episode. We'll get into the next one. We'll get into the player draft for the next one, I should say. And in the meantime, if you guys have any suggestions for me, pitching staff wise, see what I can do with Doval, just drop a comment, let me know. That would be appreciated. But for now, let's thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for checking in with me, and I'll see you for the draft.